Time management is the #1 obstacle for college students. You have so much to complete. Go to class, study, hang with your friends, sleep, eat, work, and much more. How can you fit it all into the 168 hours that are in a week? First, you need to determine where your time goes. Take a look at the time audit chart on the screen. Estimate the number of hours during the week that you spend on each item. Write it down on a piece of scratch paper. You will use this information in the next few slides. The next step is to create an actual weekly schedule. The first step to creating the schedule is to mark the calendar with activities that occur at the same time every week. Let's start with when you're in class. Then, if you work, go ahead and put down when you work. If your work schedule varies, estimate the number of hours and mark in the days and times. Now we need to figure out when you're going to study. The rule of thumb is for every hour that you're in the classroom, you should be studying for 2 hours outside the classroom. So if you're in class 16 hours a week, you should plan on studying for 32 hours during the week. Go ahead and figure out when you're going to study and mark it on the calendar. Think of this as school time or classroom time. It's easier to sit down and study if you have this mindset. Now go ahead and mark all your other obligations. This could be volunteering, laundry, church, hanging out with friends, whatever you have going on. Now you know when you're going to study, you need to figure out what you're going to study. First thing is to pick some kind of calendar, whether it be paper, computer, phone, doesn't matter as long as you're going to use it consistently. Sometimes it's easier to start with a paper calendar and then transfer the information to the computer or a phone. Now pull out all your syllabi for your classes. Go through each class and mark when assignments, papers, tests, quizzes, projects, etc. are due, remembering to label the different classes. This way you can plan for busy weeks. In addition, add important college dates and deadlines, such as last day to credit, no credit a class, holidays, academic Mondays or Thursdays, whatever happens to be the case for that semester, your semester breaks, when college registration begins, when your finals are, based on the college final schedule. Now you're prepared for the semester. You know when you are going to be busy and when you may need to study a little bit more, and when things are a little slower and you may be able to hang out with your friends more and study a little less. Procrastination. It's probably one of the biggest thieves of our time. There are a number of reasons why we procrastinate. The main 4 are difficulty of the task, going to be time-consuming, lack of knowledge or skill to complete the task, and finally, fears. We could be afraid of failing, afraid that this task won't be as good as the last one, or we actually could be afraid of succeeding. To work through the desire to procrastinate, you need to ask yourself why you're procrastinating. After you have the reasons for the delay, you can create an argument against each one of those reasons. For example, I'm delaying on my paper because I don't have a topic. Well, you can look at the index of your textbook for ideas, start brainstorming from there, or you can go talk to your professor. Number 2, I work better under pressure. As you will or may have already learned, the majority of tasks assigned in college cannot or should not be completed in one day or in one study session. By starting earlier, you have more time to clarify the assignment with the professor and more time to edit the work. If you break up the task, you'll be better prepared to produce better quality work and thus get a better grade. I can't find research on the topic I've chosen. That's what the Giovanni Library is there for. Go in, talk to the librarians. They can get you started. Or you can also talk to your professor. This is another reason not to wait until the last minute to get started on the research. Finally, I don't have time to finish it. Some of us believe that if we start a task, we must finish that task before we can move on to something else. But life really doesn't work that way. We need to learn that we can break a large task into smaller tasks and not only complete it, but complete it more quickly. Remember the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? You take one bite at a time. Same holds true for completing tasks. You need to remember that time is the only resource that cannot be saved or borrowed, so you must learn to use it wisely. Being successful at time management will help you be successful as a student. If you need any more ideas or want to sit down and talk to somebody about helping you manage your time or build a schedule, please stop by the Start Center or call us at 801-832-2280 to set up an appointment.